comments. Hello, my friends. Thursday evening, let's bring color to our lives. My friends, thank you for joining me. Anybody there yet? If you are here, just say hi to me. And just let me know, hi, my chats, where you're watching from. Also on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Thank you for joining me, guys. A sip of coffee. I hope you're all well. For those who don't know me, my name is Angela. I am the owner and creative energy from Elfenundhelden. I'm the German distribution for Dixie Belle, German distribution for WoodUbend, European distribution for Graceondesign. Those are all the products we are just working with on this table I've got standing next to me here. And last week we've applied the decoupage and we stressed out some WoodUbend moldings. Anybody there? Nobody watching? Guys, where are you? Say hi to me. Have I lost you? I hope not. I hope not, but maybe the FEBB is not so happy because I'm very busy at the moment. So, what was that? Somewhere some light just went on. That was strange. Okay. All right, my friends, let's carry on tonight. We are going to, last week we've, as I said, we stressed out Instagram. I'm going to pop you over to the table. We really stressed out some ornaments because I wanted to wrap them around those legs on the top and on the bottom. This is the only thing you can really, this is the only mold you could really do that to. There's no other molding which you can stress out like that without damaging any of the details of them. So that's what we've done last week, and tonight we're going to work on the top here. Already put the trim on the bottom part of the table, and now we're going to apply it on the top here, where I'm using two different trims. I'm having that thin trim is going to go around the top bit, which is the 061, and this one is the 051G, one of the thicker and wider trims. This is going to go around the bottom here. So I've already done a part. I've done it in the German live, and I used some strips of tape just to help me. Working with trims is sometimes a little tricky if you don't have a helping hand. Guys, if you join me, just say hi to me. Where is everybody? Don't you know that I'm on? It's so weird. So weird. However, mein Hase, ist da irgendwie eine Notice rausgegangen, dass ich live bin? Irgendwie ist das komisch, dass keiner da ist. Anyhow, okay, let's carry on. I'm grateful for everybody who is with me. I'm more grateful if you say hi to me, my friends. Okay, so the special thing about those moldings is when they are cold, they are solid as wood, and when you warm them up, they get, oh, I can see a heart on Instagram. That's so sweet. Thank you ever so much. Hi, Jill. There you are. I was just thinking there's nobody there, so that was weird. Absolutely weird. So, okay. They are solid like wood. When you warm them up, they get nice and bendy. This is basically what we're going to do now. I'm going to drag you around. I'm going to start working with that thin trim here. And therefore, hang on, my friends. There you go. So you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Instagram, hope you can see too. If you have any questions, guys, just let me know. Hi, Nicole. Okay. All right. There are some people now joining me. So for this, this is cold. I've got to be careful I'm not breaking it. I broke the other one on the other side because I was pulling too hard. You can see I've already started painting them also. You can paint the WoodUbends before you apply them. You can paint them after you've applied them. I've got paint all over me also, so you can paint yourself at the same time. That's what I usually do. Thank you, Jill. So, coffee to the side. Let's concentrate. Okay, I'm first going to get it a little out of the way. Just warming that up. You can warm that up with a heat gun. You can use a hair dryer, which is a lot safer. I know what I'm talking about. You can use an embossing gun. All those things work. They might take a little longer to warm up, but you can use them. So I'm just getting that a little back to make sure I have the whole surface covered with glue. So I've got my baby wipes close to me. I'm using, you can use any wood glue, good quality. Yeah, don't use any crap, just use a wood glue with a good quality. I'm using the Tide Bond Quick and Thick, which is very helpful. It's a bit difficult to get over here. So I'm just spreading it out with my finger, making sure the whole surface is nicely covered where I want to have the trim. Wood glue is water-based, so just take a baby wipe, a wet cloth or something like that, and you're good to go. Also, when there's some of the glue squeezing out, do the same thing. So where did I put? Where is it? Nobody moves. I had somewhere over the rainbow. No. I had, oh, there it is. The trims, they do come, or the smaller trims, or the normal trims like this, they come on those MDF boards, and they are also quite handy if you want to heat them up, because they're pretty much heat resistant. So I'm gonna make sure I've got this nice and soft before I am going to try to wrap it around. I try not to break it. If I break it, I can always repair it. It's no problem. So the thinner those trims are, the quicker they get soft, and the quicker they get hard again. You know, this is basically they need about as long to cool down like they need to heat up. So now I'm just pressing it onto the glue. You can stretch them also a little bit if you, had to cut them and you cut them too short. You can stretch them out a little. So now I'm just making sure I've got good contact on the whole surface. So I'm pushing it down. Make sure that especially around the edges of the whatever you're putting on, if it's the trim or an ornament, that you especially put the edges down, so that there's like nothing, you know, not the edges not lifting up or something like that, because then it's going basically to look like this really was there right from the beginning onwards. Okay, extra glue. I'm just wiping off with my baby wipe, and then I shall continue around. I'm going to, hang on, we're gonna go. We are moving. We are moving. There you go. There you go. Just gonna make sure we're doing the rest of it. Insta, make sure you can see as well. And okay, Instagram, if you're there, you may say hello to me also. I really appreciate that. So the other trim I have laying on the cradle at the moment. I'm going to make sure I have some more glue on here, which goes all the way around. So there. And also making sure that they have the whole surface basically covered. and my finger. So wiping that off. So I had this now laying on the griddle. So you can see this is already soft. And now I'm basically unrolling it. So what I'm going to do actually, as this is like a rope thing, I'm going to, you can cut those also. And I'm going to, where's my knife? Where's my knife? There. There it is. So I'm going to cut this area off here. And I'm going to attach it basically straight to the other bit. I'm putting that down in the griddle for now. It stays nice and warm and stays flexible. Because then I can basically attach it to the other bit here. I'm going to warm that up a little now. And then I'm basically cutting this rope thing here off. And then I can touch the other bit right next to it. So make sure I've got the glue there. Now bring that back up. And now I can just like attach it right next to it, and the rope basically looks like it is continuously moving on. There's a little gap there, but this will be fine. Doesn't need to be too perfect. I'm doing the same thing on the other end. Down, my head in the way. So cutting this off here. Because when they're soft, you can cut them. They get nice and manageable. Sorry, I'm in the way. You can't see what I'm doing. So that's it. And make sure I'm going to cut this there. So now this is, you can see that this is like a little short now. Instagram, can you see that? This is a little short, so I'm gonna get my heat gun. You can stretch those a little. You can stretch those a little. I mean, not about 2 centimeters, but at least. And then you can just attach those to it. So hold that down until it's cooled, and then you're good to go. So I'm just grabbing my baby wipe, getting the excess glue off. So the tape I have prepared is not for the small one. This is pretty easy because that's laying on this step here anyway. The bigger one is a little bit more difficult to handle, as it is, you know, wider, and so now you can't see that there's like a gap or anything. So just make sure there's a little glue there. As I said, this is going to dry clear at the end. So now I'm going to come in with the wider trim. That's what we do. I've got to see, this is the side that you can see. Instagram. Bring you a little around without dropping you. Oops. Those close up. Sorry, guys. Always tricky to have everybody on the... Okay, there we go. There we go. So, where is that hair coming from? Okay. Well, all right. So same thing, basically, we're going to attach that to this side and to the other side. There's only like a little piece missing. And what I'll probably do to make my life a little easier, I shall cut what I need. So this has been laying on the griddle now. I shall cut what I need before I continue handling it. I've got my knife here. I've got to be careful because I have like a very don't worry guys, I have everything under control. My fingers are safe. So my fingers are safe. Keep your trims in a coil. So now I've got it. Sometimes I'm lost for words. Yes, Jill, we are missing people tonight. I don't know. Maybe you can tell some of them. So I'm just putting it down on the griddle to have that, keep that warm. You don't need to do that. It is fine if you basically warm that up with a hairdryer or a heat gun. This just makes our life a little easier now, and we can carry on a little quicker. So I have a big brush now to apply my glue. It's already dried in the brush, which I'm not worried about. This is one of my artist brushes from Da Vinci I'm using. But as the wood glue is water based, I can get it out, so that's no problem. So, okay, make sure you have this surface nicely covered. As I said, I prefer when I work with trims to put the glue on the project itself, and then I come in with my trim to work with. You can do it the other way around, but that's completely up to you. I find it easier that way. So I'm warming up now the ends because I want to squish them together now also with that piece we are just going to add in a second. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to use my tape just to secure that a little, and it's not going to escape. So pushing those right together. Stay on there. Don't fight me. Don't you try to fight me. You're going to lose anyway. So I'm pushing those right into each other so that those joints basically get good contact. I'm going to heat those areas up a little more. So at the end, you won't see that there was that this piece was not joined together. If you come in then also with some sandpaper, sand those edges down a little and put some paint over it, this won't be noticeable anymore. This is warm. This is warm. Just hold that down till it's cooled down a little. It's not moving apart again. I could have cut it that whatever this edge is like not from, this is a piece from this pattern, not there, but you won't notice it. This is basically just so busy, this piece. This won't be noticeable. There's no need, or for me at this stage, no need to waste any centimeter. Hallo Sissi, da ist jemand. Ich glaube, ihr habt alle irgendwie keine Nachricht bekommen, oder? Kann das sein? So, same thing over here. Warm that back up. I'm sorry if it's noisy. I'm going to bring you a little over. Sorry, it's noisy. Now Instagram, you can see a little better what I'm doing here. Making sure this is nice and soft. Ouch. And hot. Nice and soft and hot. And I'm pushing also here those things right onto each other. You can see the gap now as this one was painted right to the edge. But I promise after I've painted the whole thing, you won't notice that this was like not going all around. So it's still very warm. Oh no, oh Jill, this is still, I mean, never-ending story. Numbers are really high. We are in the shops on 2G, which means you either have to be vaccinated or you are supposed to have had COVID. Then you're allowed to come into my shop. If not, you're not. And if you want to go to restaurants or something like that, you either have to be also boosted or you have to have like a negative test. So that's that. Done. All the trims all around, they're going to be painted now. And for painting the trims, I'm using, and the ornaments, I'm using a brush which is like not one of the high quality brushes, because I want to move the paint into the just trying to get I don't want to waste the glue, sorry guys. I'm just going to put that back into my bottle. So just go from there. So put that into the water and clean the top of that bottle off. Just made a nice mess now. So that's safe. I'm painting this with caviar. So as I said, COVID is still a bit mad around here. Hallo Vera. Ach, danke schön, liebe Vera. Ach, hallo Andrea. Oh, Snowy Munich. Oh je, du Süße. Ja, aber gut, das passt ja zu München. Ich brauche keinen Schnee mehr. Ich bin sowas von bereit für den Frühling. Das sage ich dir. Okay, Chalk Mineral Paints by Dixie Belle. Mix it up nicely. And there we go. So, there we go. Okay, I'm using the paint out of the lid. I've worked with it before, so I have my brushes in, I put them into a damp baby wipe and also in a plastic bag for not drying out in my brush. I'm going to dampen that, and I'm going to use the paint out of the lid first. You know, so this is what I'm going to use first. The tape I don't need anymore, as this is now nice and dry and nicely on there. Okay, this area where I just joined those together, making a mess. I'm just getting using some. I'm using my surf prep. I like to use the medium to sand those edges down. So this is basically just those areas where I've joined those together to make sure this is you're not seeing the joint anymore. This just smooths it out. Do the same thing on the other side, where this area is. This basically just takes off any of the glue which might have been squeezed out and which might not look very nice. So that's good. To go. That was the surf prep medium. I have them now in all strengths, so to say, with all grids. So I'm dampening my WoodUbend a little bit because it makes it easier the paint to run into the details. And I will need 2 coats. Tonight we're doing 1 coat basically. And I'm going to show you the second coat on the other side. What's the time? Half an hour. Oh, we still have time. Just doing it out here. I'm painting on the paper on top, which is no problem because this is going to be blended in anyway, which we're going to do next week. Next week we will blend the paper in nicely with chalk mineral paints and with some posh chalk products, some paste and some aqua patinas and stuff, and basically finish the whole thing off without sealing. It's got to be sealed afterwards also. But I think we are on a good way saving this cutie. It already looks totally different, don't you think? Oh, hi Nina, there you are. You are joking. Oh my goodness. Hey, what is she doing? Oh no. I mean, she's not too strong anyway, so hope she'll be all right. Thanks for letting me know, Nina. That's sweet. That's sweet. Hi, Jan. Thank you for joining. So, as I said, for the trim, I'm using, and the ornaments, I'm using a French tip brush, just for it to run into those details. A little bit of my spray bottle. I don't want to ruin my nice brushes, so this is what I'm using on here. So, and I am dabbing and swirling and making sure I hit all the areas. So there we go. So now I really have to look where I joined those. You can't really see. Bring you around. So bring you around. There. That's where we joined. Instagram. There. That's where we joined those 2 trims together. So hi Jill. Thank you for joining. Everything is a little delayed at the moment. We've just been talking about COVID, you know, and I just learned that one of our friends is ill with it over there. So I'm very sorry about that. So we're basically still not doing anything. We went out the other week, but this was like an outside thing. So this was okay. But apart from that, so let's see. We're doing the also down here. The trim I am doing with my French tip brush, and I also have my synthetic flat small brush. This is what I'm going to use for the for the leg itself. But as ornaments, I'm going to paint with this brush because that's not, you know, it's going to be stressed out a little. It's like being pushed in all those crevices of the mold. So this is the reason I'm using not one of my most expensive brushes. So basically, oops. So there we go. This one, and do the same. Let's see. I'm going to push you further back, but you can see basically how the paint goes in there. Swirly motions, dabbing around the edges to make sure hit all the areas. And the legs are going to be black, and the rest of the paper we're going to blend in with a little bit of neutral colors. So I'm sorry, it's just got to go around and do this side, dabbing. There is no right or wrong by doing that, guys. The main thing really is that you have the surface covered. I'm still using the paint out of the lid. There's quite a bit which is in there. Don't forget it around the back, on the knees. Just, you know, check it from all areas. You don't want to have any spots been missing at the end, as those ornaments are pretty detailed. So, using the word. Detailed is the right word. So now we're doing the bottom. There's like those at the bottom also. Always got to check that Insta is going to see. Yes, it's going to see. Same thing basically. Make sure this is like a little damp, so the paint runs easier into those details. And guys, this is now the first coat. I mean, you can see they already covered pretty nicely. You can do a second coat, you don't have to. I will do a second coat. Gotta be careful because I have this little tricky setup here for my table that I'm not dropping it off the tables here. So So I'm just going to do, I'm sorry, this is probably off screen for you now. Just want to cover that. And then I'm going to bring my flat small out to do the rest of the legs. I've chosen the flat small because it's got like it's got like a flat area. The legs are not rounded and they're not too wide, so I don't want to have like one of my wider brushes. It's just going to waste too much paint, you know. So, and this is already, now you can slowly start seeing in which direction we are moving. So where's my flat small? Guys, if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. I'll just see. Dankeschön, mein Hase. Oh, Jill, you never used the French tip brush. I love it. I absolutely love it, you know, especially for, you know, it's not too expensive. And for things like that, you can also blend with them, you know, if you want to have. So this is now, that's the flat small. That's the flat small, guys. So as all my brushes, heavily used, not as heavy as my mini brush, obviously, but pretty much heavy used. And so also here, make sure that you hit all the areas. The chalk mineral paints by Dixie Belle, they are self-leveling, meaning that when they dry, brush strokes level themselves out. Why those synthetic brushes? I'm learning, guys. Do you notice? The synthetic brushes by Dixie Belle, they hardly leave any brush strokes. So if you want to have a smooth surface, use a good brush like the synthetic brushes, and just let it dry on its own. I mean, you see me pretty often use my heat gun. This is due to that I want to, you know, carry on so that you see as much as possible of the project being done. But this is not really recommended, so I'm going inside. You can see how nicely I can lay that that brush on this leg. This is basically making sure I have everything covered. So now we're gonna come around this one up here, and there you go. You can see basically how this brush is nicely going without basting too much paint. You can lay it easily on here. There you go. A little careful around those edges. When you've laid it down, then you can basically come back and just press it out, so to say. I'm not using too much paint. I'd rather have like thin coats and come back for a second coat. So go on the other side also, and from the inside. And this is then done pretty quickly. So that's something, again, that's not from me. That's basically something I've taken over from Amy, brand ambassador for Dixie Belle. because she's saying don't do more than 2 steps to your I will be covered in paint, guys. Don't do more than 2 steps to your project paint wise in one day. You know, I'm not talking about putting down whatever, some molds or something like that, but using paint products, you should not do more than 2 coats a day. Just that the products or the paint, whatever you're using, is having enough time to basically settle down and do its job, you know. So that's it. Okay, there's, oh, I forgot the trim on this side. Now, basically, I'm going to do the second coat now. Obviously, you don't need to be with me for that. Just remember what I said when you do that. If you feel your mold is too intricate and you're having trouble painting it, just use a little water, spray bottle, little water, so the paint runs easier into it, especially when you use like the thicker paint, like the chalk mineral paints by Dixie Belle, or you know, other brands. That might be a problem. So there you go. Okay, so that's it basically. I'm going to do a second coat, and then this is ready for some more paint next week. But it does look already completely different, doesn't it? If you think about what it looked like last week, I think this is already quite some transformation. Where's my coffee? I need that coffee. So 10 to 8. I've got you 50 minutes on here. I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss any questions. So that's already looking very much different, I think anyway. I'll also go around on the bottom here to make sure I have everything covered and just go from there. That's some blue. Already look like mit der Kaffeemaschine. In Serbia, for sure you can. For sure you can. Just pop over to the Pravims Vastanesto. Just pop over to the WoodUbend page and look for your local retailer. So there's like a section on there, and you can find it in Serbia also. Absolutely. Guys, if you want to shop the product, just check out for your local retailer and see if they, you know, got what you need. I am the distributor for WoodUbend. I've got paint in my face. Got paint in my face. I'm the distribution for Dixie Belle and WoodUbend in Germany, for Graceondesign for Europe. So also retailer, but firstly distribution. So I'm getting some hearts. It's so sweet. Thank you so much. Oh. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. For those who don't know me, my name is Angela. I'm the owner of Creative Energy from Elfenundhelden. You're welcome. My pleasure. From Elfenundhelden. I'm happy when you Danke, Andrea. I'm happy when you join me. I'm happy if you know, if some of my tips and tricks help you. Otherwise, not everything I do is like the right way to do it. That's how I do it and how I succeed, basically. And if you have different ways doing it, no worries. There's like thousand ways to get to a nice result. I thank you so much for you joining me. If you haven't done it yet, please pop over to my page and leave me a like there. Also on Instagram, on YouTube. I appreciate if you follow me there also. Dankeschön, Andrea. Ganz lieben Dank. I'm wishing you now a lovely evening and yeah, have a lovely weekend. You take care and stay healthy. Hi, Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. I hope so. I hope so. So it's not really not much you can do wrong with all those great products I'm using. So I'm happy I've got them. Guys, you take care. You take care. Have a lovely weekend. And as I said, if you have questions, just PM me also. Bye, guys.